to come to the support of our people. Therefore, we have issued very strict directions on social distancing, on wearing of masks, on ensuring that people who are required to be quarantined remain in quarantine. We do not come in undue contact with anybody unless it is completely unavoidable. All our meetings and conferences that are taking place through video conferencing, and directions are being issued by our medical fraternity, that is by the DG Armed Forces Medical Services, on how we have to ensure the state of health of our soldiers and airmen under these difficult times. At the same time, we are adhering to all the instructions that are coming to us from the highest body in our country, that is the PMO, from the meetings that are being organized at the level of the Cabinet Secretary. We are attending meetings of the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. And whatever directions are emanating are percolating right down to the rank and file. And we are ensuring that these reach in the right time, in the right manner. So therefore, at this juncture, it is very important for us to maintain strict discipline and patience. We do know that when the country is in lockdown and when people are told to stay indoors, they tend to become impatient. But this is not the time to be impatient. Patience is very much important, and we have to ensure that we maintain discipline. Maintaining discipline is not a big problem in the armed forces because we are accustomed to maintaining discipline. But to maintain patience is what I think is the need of the hour. And we have to ensure that along with our countrymen, in fact, we reach out to the countrymen and explain to them how to be patient in these times. We don't have to get agitated. Yes, there will be some problems. Problems will always be there under such challenging times. But we have to learn to live with them. It cannot be business as usual. This is the time when certain directions have been issued, which we have to adhere to if we want to fight the menace of COVID. And I think our nation has done well. We will continue to do well so long as we continue to adhere to the directions and instructions that are issued from time to time. And once again, I would like to say, it is patience and discipline which is help us overcome this major problem.
Sir, it's seen that the armed forces have so far controlled the menace of COVID very well, except for a few cases in the Navy at one place. So, how are the forces affected, sir, and how are they controlling its spread within themselves?
See, I would not like to just highlight this one particular case of the Navy. It is not to say that it has not affected the Army or the Air Force. It has affected the Army, Navy and the Air Force in very limited numbers. In the case of the Navy, there was one person who was affected, and we found that he was asymptomatic for a long time. And therefore, he kept associating with his other fellow sailors, and that is how gradually it spread. But the moment it was detected, the Navy has been very quick to react and has ensured that the spread does not take place any further. So I think it is because of this quick reaction by the Navy that they've been able to contain the spread of this menace, and they've been able to ensure that along with this one sailor who had been affected, only about 21 of them got affected, and therefore they had about total 21 cases. But then there were some more individual cases whom they put them all together. So in one particular area they had 26 cases. And I think the fact that they have been able to prevent this spread, I think the credit does go to the people who have ensured that necessary directions were issued and they were prompt in action. And once again, I would say it is discipline and patience which has helped us in preventing the spread of COVID.
The Army and Air Force have also done well, sir, in control?
Yes, wherever we've had such cases, we have immediately quarantined the people. We have put them either in home quarantine along with their families. And let me tell you that the spread has not happened again because of the manner in which we are monitoring these people, the manner in which we have ensured that they do not break the lockdown, they do not come out of their houses. And I will be happy to inform you that all our people have now downloaded the Arogya app. And therefore, should any one of our people get affected, we will be able to pick that up very soon, and we will be able to ensure that the spread does not happen in a very big way.
Sir, we have seen this during the times of COVID to meet the requirements of ventilators, PPEs, masks. Do you think, sir, this has a lesson for all of us in the armed forces also?
yes, I think there is a very major lesson for us in the sense that the way the scientists and other agencies involved in medical research have come up with innovative ideas to produce medical equipment inside in the country, which we were so far importing to help us tide over COVID-19, has been amazing. We have, in a short span of, let us say, just about 4 to 6 weeks, started manufacturing ventilators in our country. PPEs are being manufactured here. A lot of other equipment that is required, masks. We were importing, some components of the N95 masks while we were making the masks here. But our DRDO has come out with a different mask, which is M99, which I am told is superior to the N95. So you can see how fast the people have reacted. And I think there's a lesson in this for us in the defense services. We have been importing our weapons, equipment, and ammunition from abroad. But I think if we can give this challenge to the industry, to our academia, and to our own research and development organizations, I think we can start manufacturing our own ammunition, our own weapons, our own equipment in country. We will not have to be dependent on imports. And COVID has taught us a lesson that the time has now come to be self-reliant. In times of crisis, nations will have to live by themselves. In fact, a country like India, and if we are looking at becoming a regional power, we will have to actually support other nations and not be dependent on support. And therefore, it becomes very, very important that we start addressing the issue of in-house manufacturing through Make in India, support the industry, handhold the industry, and make sure that whatever we are importing in whatever way, gradually over the years, we should start depending on Make in India. If we start depending on Make in India, I think we will also be able to reduce our ab initio holdings. We have very large amount of ammunition which we have to hold in stock. We have large amount of weapon systems that we have to hold in stock, which we call as war wastage reserves. If we start manufacturing this in India, these can come down. Because when you have dependence on your own industry, there will always be a surge capacity, and they can come to your help in the time of crisis, which will not happen if you are import dependent. And therefore, I think the time has come to take a lesson from COVID, the manner in which the health industry in the country has come forward. We are quite sure that the defense manufacturing in India can also move at the same pace, provided we have faith in our industries, we have faith in our R&D organizations, and we are able to do hand-holding with them and move forward. I am also happy to inform that it is not that Make in India is not happening in our country. We are now manufacturing our own guns. We are manufacturing AD weapon systems. We have started making small arms, our BPJs, our helmets. All these are being manufactured in India. But, and you will be happy to know, the Air Chief has now placed a demand for 83 LCA, which is something which the HAL will have to produce. We do know that there is a lot of import component in them, but I think gradually we have to start looking at how to ensure that most of the major components are made in India. Similarly, you look at ship manufacturing. I think Navy has done well in this field. They have actually gone in a big way for Indianization, and I think the credit to the Navy goes because they have their own design and development department within the Navy, which carries out the designing of the ships, and that is how the shipbuilding yards are able to move forward and manufacture the ships in India. I think the similar system has to be followed by the other two services. The Army is also now moving forward. We also now have the Army Design Bureau, the ADB, which is now hand-holding, talking to the industry, talking to the academia, talking to anybody else to see that we can also depend on Make in India for our ammunition and our weapon systems and the supported equipment that comes along with that.
Sir, the government is doing a lot of expenditure on relief measures, providing economic packages, and a budget cut is also anticipated. So there is a talk that this may affect a budget cut for the armed forces as well. Do you think, sir, it is going to in any way affect the state of preparedness or operational readiness of the services?
No, I would not fully agree to that because, before COVID came in, actually by the time the spread of this COVID started in our country, I think it was in the early months of February. In February, we were ready for undertaking any task assigned to us. To say that in the next 6 months, our preparedness will fall because of the budget has already been given to us. We understand how to use it. All that we have to ensure during this financial year is that we have to avoid any wasteful expenditure, and that whatever money has been given to us, yes, we may not get additional allotments, so we cannot bank on additional allotments, but whatever budget we have received, we must spend it pragmatically, avoiding wasteful expenditures. We are also cutting out on a lot of ceremonials and seminars and conferences this year. So with that, I think we don't see any major drop in our preparedness, operational preparedness as far as the three services are concerned. We are capable of undertaking any operational tasks that has been assigned to us in the times to come.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.